Yo, you suck.
If this wasn't a setup today.
That was a setup.
But go ahead.
But anyway, welcome to No Love Lost podcast. We got set up. We had intense conversation before we opened up. But we got myself, Justin Ramon. We got really DeLorean.
What's
we got
up?
Truly.
Hey.
We got the beautiful Miss Leslie.
Is she fine?
Hi.
Amen. So,
Can you say that? To
listen,
your cousin?
Yeah.
the incest
Keep all our
that's going
self-esteem
on
high. ain't it?
in this
Incest.
room. Listen,
Whoa.
so are we going off the book or what are we doing? What are we
Nobody
doing?
knows.
Obviously
Do we
going
look
off the
at-
book because today we
Listen.
talking about incest, y'all.
No.
Nah, I know
now-
my country people gonna really love this one on this episode. I know y'all gonna be feeling this one. It's just for y'all.
I quit.
I quit. I don't even know.
Not gonna be.
Get out.
Yo, let's get to these hot topics, crazy people. So, what's on the hot topics for today, people?
So the hot topic for today is: did you guys hear what Wendy Williams said on her show?
I didn't
You mean
hear it.
I did
Wendell?
not.
Wendell Williams
That's right,
III?
Brother Williams.
My dick is bigger than yours. My dick is bigger than yours. I
Brother
hold the
Williams.
area. My dick is bigger than yours.
Brother Wendell Bartholomew Emmanuel Williams
The
said.
Bartholomew just takes the
You gotta give him that old one. You gotta give him that old one.
Bartholomew.
Johnson
Williams. Hyphenated.
Johnson
nigga.
and Johnson Williams.
What?
So he made this statement that basically asking if the Clark sisters had ever gotten a number one. So she was talking about Snoop Dogg's gospel album,
Which is dope.
and it is,
Awesome album.
it
Dope,
is. And all of a sudden she says, well, he got a number one. Who's out in gospel? Have the Clark sisters ever gotten a number one?
By the way, the Clark Sisters is on the Snoop Dogg album.
Right.
Shout out to my homie J. Drew who produced that record too.
So the interesting thing was my understanding is that nobody really responded in the audience. My take on this is, if you look at R&B influences, a lot of the R&B artists that we even listen to today, the headliner actually of Coachella was influenced by the Clark sisters.
Escape.
And yes.
They sang "Is My Living in Vain."
And not only that,
Love that song.
you have to remember, I believe it was the Clark sisters, You Brought the Sunshine, that actually hit like number one secular.
Okay.
That was the first gospel song to ever hit
Crossover.
Officially crossover. So what is your take on it? Like, what do you guys think?
I think she was trying to be funny,
And it didn't work.
and it didn't work.
It
Exactly.
fell flat.
First of all, I don't know if
We
she's
already
ever
don't
seen
like her, but now we
right.
don't. We
I was
don't
about to say,
like her
I
now.
was about to say a lot of people don't like her because she makes a living on talking smack. But have you ever seen a Clark Sisters concert? They have a fan base that's sickening.
First off, everybody got a song by them, even if you don't know it. Like the thuggy of the thuggy. Period. I don't know what to say. How to call
They're
it.
Bone Thugs and
But
Harmony.
you listen to your they playlist. They be like they have everything, and then you see Clark.
hood
As
music.
far as
Yeah,
harmony,
you know,
as far as that harmony goes, like a lot of people model themselves after the Clark sisters.
They do.
And if you're a male group, you listen to who? The Winans. A lot of people would tell you this. So like you can't come for the Clark sisters now. Like, and I think she thought that, the little gospel group, and who was it? Oh, it was Lexi. She was like, y'all think that church people are supposed to be punks? Nah, you supposed to
Not
just say
so.
whatever you want to say to church people. Oh, okay. You liable to get cussed out and clap back and all
they'll
that other
repent the
stuff.
next day.
And repent the
Right.
next day.
After they smacked you.
Hey, bro, I done seen a
Snatch
couple
that.
of church parking lot brawls.
Yeah, sadly, I have too.
We just
And
called
been
the
in
police.
one.
I just pray on. I just pray that I'm not a part of one very
He
very
caught
soon.
that.
I'm not laughing at that.
I just pray that's never my testimony that I have to brawl in the parking lot
I
of the
hope
church.
not neither, Justin.
But you
Look,
know,
don't
it
judge
can,
me.
We
No,
gonna have to get. I'm gonna have to jump in. You know,
Don't
Cause-
judge
on
me.
principle.
because we will get busy and active out here.
that's true.
But anyway, so
I just thought it was, interesting that was something that she would even say, considering like a lot of R&B artists stated that they have been influenced by the Clark
Now I have a
sisters.
question. Did Wendy ever like come to Detroit? Like like working here?
Man, she ain't coming here.
she ain't coming here.
No. Not before her show. She did radio first. Did she ever work in Detroit ever?
No.
Because
don't
I remember when
think
she got
so.
into it with
If she ever
Judge
came to
Mathis,
Detroit, I
and
don't
he
think she would've-
alluded to that some kind of way, like after he snapped on her, called her crackhead. But
Well, Judge Mathis,
Well,
he
she
can't.
is.
He
He didn't
he
lie.
never.
no, he didn't lie. He told you.
No, that was the truth.
Well, yeah,
but
you know a lot of crackheads. So.
you a crackhead, huh?
Yeah.
I
know a crackhead when I see a crackhead. I know a
Shout out to
crackhead when
Greg
I
Mathis.
see
I
one.
love him.
I grew up in Detroit. You stay right down the street from me, didn't you?
One day, no. The lady was in his courtroom, and he was like, "You live in that pink house? No, off of Mac and Bewick? Oh, I know where you stay at." I was like, "Nigga, you cannot do that on
That's
national
always
TV."
been a crackhead house.
I used to buy crack there myself. No,
I used to send some people I knew to that house all the time. They had the best deals in the
I
city.
can't
No,
with them.
but Greg Mathis has
Like,
a
clean it
home
up.
here, but he has a home here, and he records in Chicago, and
I
he
think
has a
that
home
was
in
just
LA
like a
or something
call
like that.
in.
No, he did call in.
Yeah.
But I thought he was saying like she did do something here before. Because she acts like, on the real, to me, the way she talked about the Clark sisters was like she didn't really know about them per se.
I mean, you
You can't know
Yeah,
about
like,
them if you don't know that they don't have number one
unfortunate-
hits.
If you know who Kirk
But
Franklin
I thought that was shade
is-
too, though.
Yeah.
You know, people pretending like they don't know.
Well, sometimes
To get a
when your life ain't going right, your husband is stepping out on you, got babies, homes,
With your money.
with your money,
Preach.
right?
Preach now.
That's hurtful. So sometimes it sounds like this is the perfect job for her because this gives her a chance to lash out on people.
But they lash back.
You know what? I think
They do.
It gives Wendy the perfect opportunity to take the lashing that she has been getting for most of her life, probably, if not all of her life. Them is some broad ass shoulders. She had to be playing football. She tall as shit. I mean, she dunking or something. And so it ain't no surprise that my man's had some other chicks because he was tired of dealing with a man
Amen.
that was trying to be a chick.
Hey, bro, if a nigga walk up to me and be like, "Hey, yo, Wendy Williams is fine. Hey, bro, you gay?" And I ain't got nothing against gay people, but dog,
Me
like,
either. I just wanna say that.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that out there. I don't have nothing against gay people, but dog, I'm just assuming that you're gay, bro.
Are you like
'Cause-
trannies?
Now, I
You
don't know
cannot
if
say trannies. That is an offensive word.
it is. It's offensive.
You didn't know that.
I know
I,
You gotta
I
call
learned that
them-
last week.
So you look, it changes every day. Okay, it's
You gotta call them
They
gender
add a new
swaps.
letter every
No,
week.
no. I was
don't
with a
know.
group. I was with a group of young people. It was like 50.
Transgender.
It was about 50
Yes.
young people, and they was
Thank
telling
you.
us, yeah, LGBT, LMNOP, and this and that and the third. I had my
LGBTQ,
phone out. I was googling
something
stuff.
like
I was
that.
like, I've never heard that a day in my life.
They just kept
I
keep
didn't-
adding letters.
I thought tranny was short for transsexual, but then somebody was like, no, that's offensive, and da 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 da. I'm like, what?
I know someone who is transgender,
As do I.
and
I knew
they
one.
have
I
not
saw one.
had
I have a
the
cousin who-
full whatever. But
Ketchup mustard. I'm
we're
sorry.
not doing that.
I'm sorry. He had a slow moment. He's like,
No,
who,
No,
who
but
transgender?
seriously, I know someone, and I just said to them, like, what do you want me to call you?
Right.
Because I rather for you to tell me what you want to be called. If you want to be called St. Peter, James, John, I will call you that.
And you have to. Like, especially like in the corporate world. Like, I was working for a company, and the guy, he went out on medical to have the procedure done. And they gave us a briefing. Hey, I won't say his name. We'll just say John. John will be coming back as Jane. And you have to call him that and respect him as such. If you do not, then, these are the plan of actions for you.
I mean, if he had, if he and now she has had that discussion with the company, and the company says, sure, yeah, we'll go along with that, then it's their job to debrief you guys, and it's y'all job to go along with it. So, it's not hurting me. If it's not hurting me, I
don't
say
care.
There's so many rules to this,
That's
and
how-
you got to watch what you say, even on this podcast, in the corporate world, wherever you. Man, it's just like you walking on eggshells every day.
Unless you're Donald Trump, and then he says, "Fuck them gays."
Yeah.
Faggots.
But that's
that's
how he
that's what he says.
Some people don't, some people just don't care.
on national
You know?
TV.
Rush
Yeah.
Limbaugh
And nothing happens.
just doesn't care what he says.
Rush Limbaugh has never
He just
cared,
says what he
and I
wanted to say.
just- ugh.
But in a way, it's kind of liberating too. I don't agree with everything he says. Matter of fact, let's change that. I don't even like him. But
Okay.
in a way, in America, I like the fact that some people can just say how they feel and then drop the mic.
You mean-
I almost wish Obama was
You
like
mean
that.
white people can say that?
Oh well,
No, because
okay.
let's be very clear.
Okay, white people.
In
'Cause I just gave you two white
2018,
names. Yeah.
in 2018, those two guys were still arrested and taken out of Starbucks. So,
Which brings us to later on in the show. Okay, continue.
but no, seriously. But my whole point, though, with that whole Wendy Williams is, you thought you could get away. You thought you would be able to.
She thought her celebrity was big enough.
I think she did. I
really
think she
did.
did, and I think this is another example of you can't say stupid stuff on the air and think that because you're a celebrity, because you're on air,
You can do it.
that no one will clap back.
But you know what? She doesn't care. She looks at it as a win-win for her, and it's a
And
win-win
for
for
the
the
show.
Clark sisters.
I mean,
if you ask her about it today, she'd be like,
kinda is.
well, you know what? It made for good ratings. And then today I seen that on iTunes, Clark sisters #1.
So people went and
Because
looked up
people
their
went
music. That's
looked
right.
up the
To see who
music,
they were,
you
yeah.
whatever.
I mean,
Probably
if they
For
didn't
people
know.
who may not have known
No,
who
right.
which is very rare, and then people just be like, "Hey, we gonna make
See?
them #1."
The devil will make a fool out of you in a minute. Wendy, somebody
Pants on
needs
the
to
ground.
call her.
Pants on the ground.
Somebody needs to call her
Don't
and
put
just
your
let her
pants
know.
on the ground, Wendy.
Oh no, we
Because
don't want
guess
to
what?
see that.
Because guess
We
what?
don't wanna see
We don't
Her
wanna
dick is
see what
bigger
you
than
hide.
yours. Her dick is bigger than
Well, I don't know if
yours.
it's bigger than mine, but you know what I'm saying?
Did she really get the laugh? Because the last laugh, because I don't think I saw
It just didn't look funny.
any
to me.
clip
wasn't funny.
It wasn't funny. It was in bad taste, and
of like.
Because
the
I'm
Clark
gonna say
sisters
this.
won in the end.
I ain't gonna lie. I've heard some off-color jokes or throw shade at people that I love and be like, hey, but it was funny though. But it wasn't even funny.
I've heard jokes
wasn't
about
funny.
me that was like, I was
Funny,
like,
like-
hey,
Because
my
I
nigga,
just saw a clip.
That was funny,
like,
right?
that was funny. I ain't gonna
That's
hold
a
it
classic,
The
bro. That's a
entire-
classic.
Like when Bill Maher
segment.
Bill Maher said, I ain't no field nigga, I'm a house nigga.
No,
Hey, if you watch the show, it was funny.
it was funny.
I don't care if
I
it
ain't
was
gonna
white
hold
or
you
not.
up.
It was
Hey,
funny.
listen, I believe in Jesus Christ, His resurrection, crucifixion. I believe He got up on the third day. But when He said, a lady got up and was like, the Bible says. He said, whoa. He said, are you talking about that book full of Jewish fairy tales? As a Christian, I almost peed on myself laughing. Dog, that was funny.
As a
funny
Christian,
is
I'm gonna
funny.
honestly
Funny is
say
funny.
that sometimes when we read and sometimes when a brother hit a certain point of the Bible, maybe it might get a little fairy tale-ish. You know what I'm saying? You know, the only
Nah, I
thing
don't want
sometimes
this
is
to go to a
missing is
new-
These are not the views.
Look, sometimes the only
These
thing
are
is
not the
missing is a
views of
dragon in a
Justin
dungeon.
Ross. And K Royal LLC. This is not the views. I don't know what that brother over there talking about.
But y'all
anyway.
can't agree.
Hey.
Sometimes it's just missing a dragon in a dungeon. I'm sorry.
Oh
Bible.
wow!
Well, actually,
Wow.
there is a dragon and a dungeon. They're both in Revelation, but continue.
Just be careful.
See,
that
see
you
what I
don't meet
mean?
him.
No, God probably up
got
there
to know that
laughing
word.
right now.
Right.
got to know that word.
Right. And once again, the devil will make a fool out of you in a minute.
In a minute.
He sure will. Damn, that
Let's see.
dragon.
on.
Let's see what's made in Detroit.
This was for you.
It wasn't even funny. This is one of these Wendy Williams moments because it wasn't even funny. I wasn't
No,
tickled. I
that's
wasn't
a lie.
tickled.
That's a
There
lie.
may be some of the
3 out of 1.
Okay.
3 out of 1.
It was
Now, as far as Detroit Made goes, Detroit, you will not be made today. I'm sorry, Detroit. yo, I mean, some of y'all people are just inconsistent. Like, I just trying to help y'all out here. But however, though, I do have a remedy. So I created an email for y'all to send me, you know what I'm saying, y'all businesses and whatnot. And, you know, an email if y'all want to be in the podcast, want me to shout y'all out. Email is truly.nolovelost@gmail.com. And if you want your business, if you're doing something in the city, you started a business, you know, you getting it, you know what I'm saying, and you want us to put you out there, please feel free to email me. You know, let me know a little something about the business, where it's located, what you do, you know, how long it's been going, and I'll get you on the show.
Right, and we might have y'all up
You know,
here.
I have one to add.
Okay.
ahead.
Sure, go ahead.
Ashley Tolliver. I actually graduated high school with her from Cass Tech. CT,
Okay.
what up? She is a makeup artist, an excellent makeup artist. She's actually done makeup for, yes, you
Wendy
know.
Williams?
No.
Oh, thank
Beyonce?
God.
Karen Clark Sheard.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And Kiera Sheard.
I was just throwing out names. Like, Michelle Obama.
No. And
This is
she's-
recent?
Hey, she don't even wear
yeah,
makeup, son.
actually.
Because I know
Only
they
thing she
normally
wears
use
is cocoa
cocoa
butter.
You're right.
No, she actually, there's actually a video on YouTube
Dope.
of her actually doing the makeup.
Dope.
So I guess they were recording some type of something. I'm not quite sure, but she's an excellent makeup artist. I can attest to that, not just because I went to school with her, but because I've seen her work.
In person.
Yes,
Amen.
in person. I have seen her work.
She don't be making people look dead, do she? Nah, let me stop being
No,
dumb. This
she
is
actually.
promoting
You
Now that
can
we
go-
speaking on that-
you can go to ashleytolliver.com. That's
Plug it.
ashleytolliver.com.
Come on, plug it.
Ashley
What's her handles?
ASHLEY Tolliver TOLLIVER.com. Amazing work she does, and you can also find her on Facebook.
Now,
Ashley Tolliver.
now that we talking about people looking dead, I'm gonna need some of y'all ladies to go and see Ashley Tolliver, because I'm tired of seeing y'all and y'all like one complexion from y'all shoulders down, and like from the neck up, y'all like a whole different complexion. It's like y'all almost look like birthday cake. It's just
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna agree with you.
yeah.
I'm gonna agree with you.
Birthday cake.
But you need to match your shade.
That's a great topic
That
for
is
the
great.
next discussion.
No, what about why do can somebody help me? Why do girls shave their eyebrows off only to take a Sharpie pencil
does that
and
now?
do this and be like,
Nah, wait a minute.
Okay,
it,
girl,
it,
I
it
look
depends on who
good.
do it.
No,
No.
It depends on who do it.
Who
Who
is
does
doing
it?
that now? In
Oh man,
oh
it's
my
on
God.
Instagram
Well,
right
First of
now.
all-
Hold on.
First of all, I'm a real nigga who be checking women out. I be looking.
who? No, for real.
A lot of people.
Because I haven't seen that since, unfortunately,
Aaliyah?
Megan Good. Yeah, and Megan Good just got an eyebrow transplant. Kudos to her.
Hey, leave me.
Yeah, please.
I know I'm not knocking her. I
we
love
like
her.
Megan around
I
here.
think she's
Listen,
gorgeous.
Hey, yeah, you
We
know
do
what? Yeah,
too.
she.
But what I'm
Auto-
saying
And them eyebrows.
is,
Kiki Palmer kind of took her spot a little bit.
who is
You said Kiki Palmer, sir?
Yeah, I'm
That's what he
sorry.
said. I heard
man.
something like that.
I love
Yeah.
Kiki
I-
Palmer, and I
man,
think she's
I-
a very beautiful lady, but she doesn't contest to. I think Tiana Taylor looks better than her.
Kiki girl, she growing up out here. Y'all must not have seen these pictures I seen.
Yo, did y'all check out Beyonce and Coachella?
yes.
Well, we have.
Give me your
Listen,
black card.
I was at
listen,
work.
Listen,
For Beyonce?
Listen,
Yes.
say what
Beyonce-
you want to say. Oh, hold on, Beyonce.
Beehive. Where
No, you
Nah,
And
Beyonce, you got some
expressions
good
of
songs. You know what I'm
Justin
saying? You got some
Ramon.
good stuff. I'm just not a fan like that.
That's so
I'm
sad.
just,
It's not. It wasn't
sorry.
even about that.
Listen.
I just don't
It
like her
wasn't
music
even
like
about
that. It just
that.
don't.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but it wasn't even about that. It was about that she made history.
She did make history.
Okay, did she? Okay, I didn't know that. Okay,
She was
Beyonce,
the
what
first
history she-
black woman
Okay.
to
Headline
headline.
Coachella.
Okay.
That's a big deal.
Congratulations,
and,
Beyonce.
And
I
let's-
know I was hating earlier.
And then she made double history because she was the first. She was part of the first female group to perform live
Listen,
center stage.
let me tell you something. That was that.
She brought out Destiny's Child.
That did go down in history. She brought out Destiny Child. She took us from the pep rally to
That was
Louisiana
Homecoming. That was Homecoming.
to
Halftime.
Wakanda, and then she took us to
But
church.
she went to Wakanda.
Oh yeah, she
Yeah,
came
she
out.
started off
Yeah,
in Wakanda.
she started off in Wakanda.
I'm so sorry. I
Hey.
just didn't watch it this time.
No,
I feel so
What
left out.
what made me
I
angry?
didn't
is-
watch it either.
But I normally watch these things.
No,
you
but
know.
what? Okay, so
I did.
she performed in
I know.
Coachella.
I love Beyonce. Stop that. Go ahead. I'm definitely black.
No, I'm about to say I love Beyonce. I think she's dope. But
I don't like every song.
What
but I do love
happened?
Beyonce.
What happens with Coachella is that if you don't know what Coachella is, it's something like 200,000+ people out in that field. It's one of the biggest music festivals out. She did that, and we're here in the East Coast. We're Eastern Standard Time here in Detroit. And West Coast. So by the time it came out, it was like 2:00 in the morning.
And I stayed up to watch it, yes.
It was 2:00 in the morning, and I had just got off stage and
I
did a
was
show,
fasting
and on
and
the
praying.
listen, I was dead
I
to
was
the world,
watching.
dead to the
I was
world.
watching.
But shout out to Beyonce, she's super dope, super beautiful. Had Jay come out.
Are we clapping?
Even
Awesome.
First Lady Jackson had to say, my mom said, oh, that woman knows she did that. I said, why are you calling me that?
Now listen. We had a little bit of the discussion before we got on air, and which threw us off a little bit. Who, as far as the GOATs go, the greatest performers of all time, Michael Jackson
It's in my throat.
or Beyonce? Now, this is
Let's
over
hold
here.
on.
Over here, hold on. Let me put this disclaimer out. These three people, we know about vocals, we know about performances. We're not talking about being a fan of somebody. We're not talking about, oh, that was a good album or that was just good. We're talking about vocals. We're talking about performances, thoughts into your performances, all of that.
Let's go around
Michael.
the room. Let's just be civilized with this conversation. This go
Because
round.
it can go
It's
real
gonna go
left.
left really quick.
Real quick.
I'm going to start.
Go ahead.
I'm going to give my disclaimer as to I like both. I want that on the record.
I love both.
Okay, but
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
as far as a performer, Michael Jackson stood center stage for a number of minutes, and it shows you on the video, and did absolutely nothing. I mean, literally stood still, and he got faints in the front row, and people trying to jump the gate, and I think. Since I work at an artist development company, shout out Star Factory AD, when we teach how to perform, the main thing we teach is how to get the crowd to react to you. We do it through vocals or through dance or choreography, whatever you want to call it. But if we were able to show you how to stand still and get the same response without singing a note, that's it can't be taught. It's something that just develops, and I think. That which makes him, for me, better than Beyonce as far as performance. Apart from when he starts dancing and doing what he does, and that everybody know about that already. People miss the subtle things. I think.
I agree.
So, this is a hard thing for me.
And I agree.
So I understand where you're coming from. But when I think about a performance, I think about everything. I think about what was the look, the overall look. Who performed with you? Were those vocals together? I have to give Beyonce this one. And I love me some Michael. Anybody that really knows me will tell you I love me some Michael to the point that one of my favorite movies is The Wiz. Okay?
I've never heard nobody say that.
Yeah, it is
I have.
actually.
You know what?
Larry
I
Callahan.
have, and
Larry Callahan said that.
No, seriously, it is
I
one of
always
my
wanted to perform this song.
it's one of my favorite. It is actually one of my favorite movies. But
I'm a Phantom of the Opera type of guy. But
I
know
I'm
it's-
not
it's-
even surprised.
it's the
Phantom of
truth,
the
though.
Opera is the truth.
People don't know nothing about that.
But you got to be a real thespian, not a lesbian, a thespian.
Can you clarify?
I understand.
I am both.
Go ahead, continue, Les. I'm sorry.
No, I was actually weighing out
Okay.
what you said.
Okay.
But no, seriously, I really feel like when I think about her look, when I think about everything, her overall everything, because everything goes into that performance. And as much as I love Michael, I just feel as though at one point, yes, his vocals were on point.
So that's your deciding factor. You
But-
feel like the vocals fell off.
At
No.
one point.
I'm just-
At
I'm
one
just
point,
asking
they
a question.
were.
I'm about to help you out.
And I'm gonna be real with you. When I hear Beyonce sing, I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel nothing from her music. So that's why I said, and it's crazy that I know there are some people that are not gonna catch that, but I feel nothing. Like, she can get up there and go through all of this stuff, growling and all of that, and I feel nothing. But I can watch this woman fall down a flight of stairs, get her hair stuck in a fan, be pulled off the stage by fans, and still never miss a beat. And you can tell that she's singing. In the words of Prince, her mic is on. So you can tell. But so that's why I said it was hard for me, but I have to give this one to Beyonce. Now, I'm not saying that MJ might not have been able to top that. I believe that he could have if he were still alive today and those vocals were still what they had been in the past. Because he does make songs that he made songs that most people could relate to, even though Beyonce does not always make a song that you can relate to. I still have to kind of give that to her, but it's very close. It's very close.
You have some valid points.
Now, I think it's already obvious that I'm going to choose Mike.
Oh, and she's a woman, so she's carrying extra stuff on top and bottom. I'm just saying. I know y'all don't think that. But and let me just say, Coachella, baby came back after having twins.
Amen.
2 babies. And I ain't never had no babies, but that breast milk thing, I heard it ain't no joke. So go
And
ahead.
breast milk is tasty, by the way.
Okay.
On another
Why
note,
did you
I
say
think
that?
we all know that,
Edit that
I'm gonna
out.
go with Michael, man, and I'm going on Michael overall. Everything I feel it when he sing. I feel it when I listen to some stuff. He gone. I felt it when his hologram was performing on stage, and I know that it was a lot of people that was feeling it too because he was like, hoo, bow, and 5 bitches over there they passed out. They was gone. Matter of fact, I almost passed out.
Oh.
It's
From moves?
from the movement. Oh, man, he took the glass off. Blow. I was like, bam! I came back 5 minutes later. I didn't know what had happened
From the hologram?
from the hologram.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
He's so good that the hologram. I mean,
was it 3D? Like, what?
woo,
Well,
it was
I'm-
3D. Y'all ain't say it. Okay,
I think I
this
did.
is
So
the last
that's
award.
your that's your
But
But no, I mean he's a performer, and I will agree. It's just his whole dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Just Jesus,
him.
he's a performer. He was a performer. Just Jesus, rest in peace, Mike. I don't believe none of that stuff they
Hold on,
said.
so
By
Jesus
the way,
was a performer or Mike was a performer?
why you
Jesus
trying
was
to
a
why,
miracle worker.
why you trying to take it
was
there?
trying to
figure out what he was trying to
Jesus,
say.
your stuff was real. You wasn't performing. I don't know what he trying to say.
Okay.
I feel like he trying to send me to
Clarify.
hell
Well, they
here.
did say he performed miracles.
He did.
But anyway, so Beyonce and Michael Jackson. Let me put this in perspective.
It's a hard one.
It's a hard one.
choice.
It's a hard one, but I think Michael Jackson, in his earlier years, focused more on his vocals. If you listen to Off the Wall album, before he ever did a moonwalk, before he did a pop lock or whatever, he was just shaking it with the Jerry curl like this on the video. That was his signature move at that particular point. PYT and all them good songs, those were vocal classics. As far as a performer, as far as a performer, he was groundbreaking in so many different genres. Somebody went on to say that him and Jesus Christ were the most famous people on the planet.
And that's pretty cool.
And and I will have to give that to him. But Beyonce, as far as the total package, she has the vocals, because believe it or not, don't attack me, Beehive. In her earlier years, she was not the greatest vocal.
It was pretty rough.
It was pretty rough in the beginning.
When I say rough, though,
I'm talking about if you really listen to. There's a difference.
Harsh. Let me say, her voice was harsher than what it is.
feel
It
like-
wasn't.
be
It wasn't
honest,
trained.
it was raspy.
She was
like
polished
harsh.
and groomed into
What she
what
is
she
now.
is
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
That's
She
what I
had. We've seen
To be
Beyonce
fair,
grow.
That's people in general. That's your voice in general. I mean,
But
unless
Mike
your
was at
name is
5.
Jasmine
I'm about
Sullivan.
to say, because some people get worse with time.
That is true.
That is true.
And everybody don't be Charlie Wilson. And gets better with time.
He gets
Yeah.
better
Everybody's
with
Everybody
not
time.
does.
Patti LaBelle and gets better with time.
That is
Some
very
people take a
true.
back seat. You be like,
But Brandy been singing like that since she was 4.
yeah, but
Jasmine
Her breathing
Sullivan.
is better.
But what?
Her
Wait,
breathing
wait a
is
minute.
better.
Wait a minute. What you
Well,
trying to say about a full moon?
no, hold on, no, I'm never gonna talk about Brandy. She's goat.
Goat.
But
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
what I'm gonna say is, it's just some people who you be like, you hear their first album and then you hear their newest album, which is 20 years later, 10 years. Because all I was gonna say about Brandy is she's been out a long time, but it's nothing in comparison to Tina Turner or Michael
Right.
Jackson or Prince. You know, so when you say over time, I'm thinking about Patti LaBelle came out before all of us were born. And she sings and she sounds exactly like the first.
That is very true.
That's a big difference. You know, Beyonce ain't been famous that long. She been famous, but she ain't been famous that long.
She's been famous over 20 years.
Yeah, but she ain't been Patti LaBelle famous. I'm saying that she ain't
I
been
see what you
Aretha
mean.
Franklin
Right,
long
right.
famous. She still just got here.
I see
That
exactly.
Beehive wasn't
How you go?
created
How is she
overnight.
going? How is she going to sound at
No.
60?
You have to understand what he's saying.
That's a
He's
difference.
saying from he's
From their
talking
stamp-
in just
Years, yes, in years.
He's not just talking about. He's talking about years in the industry.
No, only because
singing
she's not as old
and
as they
plus.
are.
no, but the point I'm making is
Like-
the point I'm making
But
is
let's see when she gets to be 60.
Right.
What is her
Like,
voice
you make-
gonna
I
sound
think she'll
like?
be-
people make fun of people when they're old and they do the Star Spangled
don't
Banner and they're
know.
like, oh, it's terrible. But you've been famous 50 years.
Anybody you have in mind
I
said you
don't,
don't know?
I don't
for that
know.
Star Spangled Banner?
Like what was
Because I know somebody who
what-
sung it very recently. And
What
A lot
was
of people-
her?
I mean, Fergie did it the worst.
Ooh.
By far.
The worst.
Oh, some.
I'm sorry,
some
Fergie.
chick-
But they said somebody was worse
You
than
hear
her.
from
I
me.
heard. Yeah.
Well, somebody just
No.
forgot the words. didn't know
Trina
the-
Braxton.
I'm right.
Was that Trina?
Trina Braxton.
One of the
no.
Braxton girls.
Yeah, she was pretty bad too.
Well,
The oldest-
nobody will ever be able to do it like Whitney.
Or-
So-
Wait, now y'all talking about feeling
Or Marvin
music?
Gaye.
Every time I hear "I Will Always Love You," it does something to
I
me.
do love.
Woo!
I do
No,
love.
take your hand straight up. Go ahead.
When she opens that and it's just a cappella. Oh, I hate that she's gone. I hate it.
Gone too soon.
I hate that her voice was.
That's true too.
I hate Bobby Christina didn't get none of it.
That's the true
Yeah.
too. That's true too. That's
No,
kind of.
She
That's
could have been the
sad.
second coming.
I think what's more so sad
She
is
took
that
after
she
her daddy.
wanted what her mother had, and she knows she could never live up to that
Because she was
expectation
her
or that
daddy's
time.
son.
Boy,
May
you
she rest in
stupid.
peace.
Hey, let me tell you something. Bobby Brown was popping out here. I don't care what y'all say about his pop.
Well, at one point he was.
Way.
he was popping. Hey,
back.
At one
hey,
point,
hey,
he
you say
was.
way back.
Hey,
but
I got the video.
name one video. Name one video.
I got every little step and I get prerogative.
But name
But-
name one
They're my
barbecue.
they're my favorite one.
Name one barbecue that or a party that you have been to and they've not played one Bobby Brown song. I'll wait. Okay.
Well, actually,
No, don't say. It's a lot of
You
people.
said a party?
No, a lot of people. I'm
They still
telling
love
I was just
him.
at this rave and I didn't hear no Bobby.
you were at a rave, sir.
you said okay. Well, I dance with older people,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just gonna tell you, I've never heard a Bobby Brown
Every little
song.
step I take.
Not at the barbecue.
No, sorry.
Oh,
Not
my
that one.
God.
Not at the barbecue.
No, I'm just being honest with
Not
you.
Y'all
that
never
one.
hear a new edition song at the barbecue?
I like how you just deflected.
Come on now, that's still
No, you
Bobby
st-
Brown.
no,
He's-
that ain't the
but
same.
that's a whole group.
That's
Because
that's
I mean,
different.
It's a part of his
people were
legacy.
there
You can't
for-
talk about Bobby Brown without talking about
True.
a New Edition.
But people were there
maybe
for
Judge
some
Joe
of the
Mathis.
others too.
Well, we have to move
What you
on.
say?
Okay.
We've
Judge
been
Joe
on this
Mathis playing some
too
Bobby.
long.
Let's keep it moving. Come on, y'all.
Celebrity gossip.
We don't
We
have.
already did that.
Well, we got some more celebrity gossip.
Uh-oh.
What?
Oprah Winfrey
Ooh, Oprah.
sued and accused of stealing the idea for Greenleaf.
Mm.
That says everybody get a church. This guy named Shannon Wynn said he brought the idea up to her. He's a screenwriter, by the way. Him and a pastor brought up an idea about, what Greenleaf is about, basically, to her years ago. And she said, I thought it was a great idea, and they shopped it and whatever. And then according to him, the Oprah Winfrey Network or whatever, like put him on the back burner and then eventually dropped him out the conversation and came up with the show. And he said she didn't even change the character names. Now, she
that's
has yet
stupid.
to report or say anything in rebuttal.
Do I think that's a possibility? Absolutely.
I mean,
happens
of course.
every
Happens
day.
all the time, yeah.
The question is, is it copyright for stories?
If you can prove that it was identical or take the essence, that's exactly what they say.
Yeah.
If they take the essence of the work, then yes.
I mean, I wouldn't be. This is just me personally. Anything that I do, anything that I'm getting ready to present to somebody, I make sure that it's copywritten. I make sure that there's a notary
Exactly.
of some type before, because people, human nature is that people are just vicious. And no, serious. I'm just being real with you. Look, that's how I saw it. People out here are vicious. The world is cold.
But
You
then
better
also
get a jacket.
in entertainment, everybody know it's cutthroat.
Yeah.
Everybody tell you don't tell people your dreams, don't tell people your goals.
Hell, you can't
Because it
tell
all
people. You can't tell people next to you your dreams and your
Exactly.
goals.
So from that standpoint,
And
he's
I'm not blaming him.
I'm agreeing. I don't want to sound like I'm
Yeah,
victim
yeah.
bashing or whatever it's called. But as a screenwriter who's in the profession, you know better.
Yeah.
And maybe
Why
he
would you give
confided
your
in everybody, Auntie Oprah. People love Oprah, and she would never, but she's a businesswoman at the end of the day too.
Oh no!
If
it
she
could go
did
on-
it,
Hell, going to my mama, I'm gonna be like, let me record this.
I mean, just
I'm
because.
just being real, and I love my mom, and I think my mother would have my back. But the thing is that you have to be smart. You have to use your brains. Now, hopefully, I hope that she didn't do this. But if she did,
Pay the money.
pay him. Just pay him.
Pay the money.
I don't understand. But it's cases like this every single day in entertainment court. in
That's true.
Hollywood.
That's true.
Every single day. I was in this seminar, and Rodney Darchild Jerkins. Shout out to Rodney Jerkins. If you all don't know who he is, he produced for Beyonce, Michael Jackson, You Rock My World. He has a whole bunch of stuff.
Brandy.
He was saying that most artists, they're not them personally, and sometimes them personally, spend a great part of their day in court fighting cases like this. Oh, I made a beat and it sounds like this. Or I made a song or I wrote this and it sounds like that, and they got the same hook or whatever the case may be. I wrote a script or a screenplay and it's identical to this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody tried to take who was it? Tyler Perry to court over Medea. You know what I'm
I
saying?
can believe that.
So because we all know church people who
People do,
do
stuff.
stuff like
People
that.
just do
Yeah.
stuff. People, not
mean,
church
technically-
people.
No.
just people.
I'm just saying that particular
I
character.
mean, technically,
That's
look,
something.
Ricky Smiley and his character could almost be similar.
Similar to Medea.
Even though.
Or he could say that he stole it from Steve Harvey, who came out with Sister Odell.
I
Which is
forgot about
very,
that.
very
You
simple.
know, and
Very
he
simple.
just put it into character. But he had been started telling jokes about it long time ago.
Yeah.
So
Or I don't know, Big Mama.
What?
No, Big Mama. No.
Martin?
Martin
Big Mama?
Big Mama's house.
Oh.
Where he dressed up. That's the fact.
So now we're just going to call out any person who wore a dress. They're all stealing.
Well,
No,
I
but
mean,
what we're saying
no, we
is
ain't
that you
missing
can be like,
anybody
you
Eddie
stole
Murphy.
my
No.
concept. No, 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 no,
right?
no.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You can say you
I
stole his
get.
concept.
I get. Yeah. That would
Right,
be a
and you, I
concept.
mean, yeah.
Moving on. To the
Hollywood man
next.
wearing dresses.
So this week, everyone knows Black Twitter. Everybody's going up in a tizzy about
Tizzy?
a tizzy.
Yes, a tizzy.
What is
Okay.
a titty?
No, I know what a titty
tizzy.
is. He said a tizzy.
I said what I said.
I was just making sure
A
that y'all
tizzy.
was listening.
Okay, yeah.
About the two black gentlemen that went into Starbucks. We discussed this earlier, and we're supposedly waiting on a friend, and they got the police called on them, and even the white patron stood up and said, "Hey, we do this all the time. Why aren't we going to jail?" Yada yada yada. Well, we talked to John Witherspoon. I'm just saying what TMZ said. They would talk to John Witherspoon and asked him what he felt. And he felt like them shutting 8,000 stores down and having a class about it
Bull.
was just some BS. Yeah, that's how he felt. He felt like he felt like giving black people free coffee once a year would do better than that. So how do you guys feel?
Oh yeah, sure. If they gave it to us on Black History, I mean during Black History Month, God, that would just be so much better.
I think with certain people, but in particular black people, it's like you damned if you do, damned if you don't. If they did nothing, they ain't do nothing. If they closed the stores, 8,000 stores, they close our store. That ain't about
Because
nothing.
think about it.
Because
how is
it's
that
like-
helping us closing the store, bro? We need a sale.
But do you know? Do you know why they are closing the stores?
For
They had a class.
sensitivity.
They have a class for racial and gender bias, and I think me personally,
Sensitivity.
sensitivity.
Class.
My thing is this:
And who
at the
teaching
end
the
of the
class?
no, hold on.
That's right.
Who's ever teaching the class? They have the information. They're given the information. I think more companies should do it.
I'm not thinking it's a
think-
bad thing, but why
You know what?
you could have did it from the beginning? Why you had to wait till something stupid like this
But
happened?
ain't-
Cut the boys a check.
Now ain't nothing like
No,
teaching.
When,
I'm
the,
with
when
you.
the CEO said, "What can I do?" He should have said, "Cut me a check."
And that's all we thinking
That-
about is money.
no,
And
no,
then
hey,
the next
so-
time it comes,
No, let me tell you something.
Money don't smooth everything
you're
over.
absolutely correct.
But it helps.
But let me tell you something. Let me
helps
tell
you.
No. Let me tell you something. And I'm being very serious because I want people to understand where I'm coming from and what I'm saying. You want to hit people where it hurts.
That's right.
Their pocketbooks. And somebody may say, well, there are people that will lose their job. That's not my problem. And I'm going to tell you why. That is another problem that the company should have dealt with from the beginning.
That's
I
right.
say that as somebody who works in the corporate sector.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, you want to make somebody pay attention, hit them in their pocketbooks.
Every
Hit
job
them
I've
in their
ever had,
pocketbooks.
every job I've ever had, they give us a course beforehand during training about how to deal with different people, gender bias, yada 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 yada. So now you want to close the stores down. What have you been training all along?
listen to what I'm saying to you. Listen to what I'm saying to
Okay.
you. I feel as though nothing's wrong with the refresher course. And my thing is this.
I don't disagree.
Hold on.
Okay, do that and cut a check.
Hold on.
Amen.
No, they cut the check. But after you pay this man, now you have 364 more days to go in your fiscal year.
So
Listen to what I'm saying. You can't. See, that's the problem. We blowing things off. All right. So. No, let's deal with it. So my thing is this: at the end of the day, how do we prevent this? If I hire you, right, and you don't like white people, I don't know that.
I love white people, by the way.
We don't know how you feel, what your sentiments are. You're going to do whatever you got to do to get this job. If I send you through gender bias training, if I send you to military training, hold on. If I send you to military training, we don't know what your thoughts are. So then the first person that comes up that's not of the same color of you or somebody that you feel have an alt against and you treat them any old type of way, we never knew that.
Okay.
Now it falls back
Well,
on
no.
the
Well,
company.
what the class gonna do to that person? Nothing.
Yeah.
I just think that
The class
you
gonna
can
do
do that
that's
on
a
any
choice.
job, though.
Right.
You
said
can
what?
do that on any job. Like, of course, you gonna go. Who don't go out of their way to do whatever to get the job? I mean, people put on a shirt and a tie and stuff. They ain't never wore that in their life to get the job. But the thing about it at the end of the day is how you
They
going.
had a doctorate. Like, sir.
Yeah, so you don't have to do
Prove
whatever you
that,
do
though.
to get the job. But when you get the job, then that's when shit get real. because now you're gonna have to deal with these people. You
That-
can't
that's the
pretend no
problem.
more.
That's
but
the
in this
problem.
class ain't gonna solve that. I mean, the class ain't gonna solve that. You know how many
really
things
not.
people do at their job. I know
So
somebody
what
at their
needs to
job that do
happen-
these certifications and stuff all the time, and they just do it to get past it. I'm not gonna say no name or
What
nothing.
needs to happen is that they need to go ahead, fire those people.
Yeah, fire them.
They need to fire them.
Yes.
But they also need, and I agree that you need those sensitivity classes because that's what really is.
Okay.
I feel like
You do need that, but you also need to cut a check. Because I'm telling you, I'm looking at this and I'm just telling you straight, I deal with contracts in millions of dollars every single day. And I am telling you this right here, right now. If you want to get somebody's attention, mess with their money.
Can I say
Or-
something? Can I say
Hold
something?
on.
A
Hold
blacks
on. Think about
only
it
day.
like this. No. Think about it like this. Think about it like this. You got your last $1,000 in your bank account, and somebody come up behind you and say, "Give me that money. Run me that money." They take your $1,000. You don't get paid for another 2
But
weeks.
you're not hurting Starbucks.
Hold on,
Hold on. You're not
cutting the check. Hurt somebody.
Hold on,
That
hold on.
hurt.
It hurts.
That hurt.
Somebody.
It hurt the bottom line. It hurt.
It hurt. It hurts.
And I get what
it
you're
hurts,
saying.
but it doesn't. Hold on.
I get what
hold
you're
on.
saying.
Okay,
but
how-
it's hurting the people that caused that issue.
So let's
Yes,
go
it
deeper.
is.
Let's go deeper here.
We can't go
Yo-
that much deeper because we got a couple more topics to get.
I got you. Hold on. But I'm a hit below the belt just a few minutes.
no, we don't.
Hold on. Listen. Okay, so you say cut the check. How about all of these police officers that's killing these black boys in the middle of the street? They're getting off, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then the family turns around and files a civil suit or sues the state, the police department, or whatever the case may be. Believe it or not, a lot of these people are getting checks. But your baby is gone, and next week it's going to happen to somebody else in the middle of the street. And it never stops.
I want to ask.
So
a
you
question.
saying a class is gonna make that
that-
stop?
It's
I'm not.
listen
saying
to what
it
I'm
has-
saying to you.
It has to be
You
based
have the
upon
information.
a different. That's a different
I still want to go on that
situation.
But that's
situation.
up to
situation.
every
Hold on, hold on.
individual
Different
person to
situation.
decide
Hold
what
on.
they're gonna do with that information.
This is what I'm
So
saying.
I
though.
get what you're saying,
So you
but that's a
telling me?
different
You
situation.
telling me this is what you just said.
Okay.
You're telling me that you would prefer. Do you think them people would prefer the police take a sensitivity class and not give them money?
What do you mean?
You just said they take people they're cutting checks to people because of police
What the
brutality.
hell is
whatever.
their training for in the first
They have
damn
the training.
place? What the hell is the training
they have
there
the
for
refresher
in
courses.
the first place?
Believe it or not, every so often they have those trainings, DeLorean.
But Justin, so I'm telling you,
It's in
hold on.
place
But hold on.
already.
But as a
What
morning,
is it doing?
But hold on, but I'm with you. But if I was a morning parent or a morning person, from my person just got killed and it had to do with police, whatever.
Right.
Okay, so much so for them to cut them a check, the city has to find fault in the police department. Everybody would agree with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're telling me if my lawyer came back to me and said, well, they're not going to cut you a check, but they're going to put in sensitivity classes, I'd be like, so fucking what?
But the truth. But I'm gonna tell you
mean?
that you
I
gotta handle
agree.
that situation a little bit differently. What I'm saying,
I
as
don't even
far
work
as
at the
that,
police station.
really, what needs to happen is police officers need to live in the cities.
Amen.
That
That
they
don't
are
matter.
policing.
That
did
don't
matter,
matter.
though.
It don't matter.
I do
Because-
believe that it
because
will matter.
People committing crimes.
If-
I can go all day about
If
this.
your white ass
trash
killed
their
my
own-
black son and you live in this goddamn city and I know where you motherfucking live, I'm
Nigga.
coming after your ass and so is everybody else. You're
Dog.
gonna be more careful.
John, hold on,
You
hold
will be more
John
careful.
killed
in how
killed
you
Pookie
handle
three doors down.
that. You will
They
be
know
more
where they live at.
careful. But I'm saying
All
as
day long.
as a white police
Yeah, but he ain't
officer,
accountable, though.
You will be more
that's-
careful.
he not
I
accountable.
don't
No,
care
but you-
what
you held
anybody
accountable.
I mean,
says.
what I mean
No,
is,
don't say that.
he's
Here.
accountable,
Stop.
but it's
Come
not
on,
the
man.
same as the police. They are supposed to be here to protect and serve. They here to
Amen.
protect us, but
And
yet the same
serve.
people that they
Serve
protecting,
these nuts.
the
Now, who
the
blowing
same
people
people
off
they
now?
protecting, they killing. They killing.
Look, because this been going on for 80 years. No.
Hey,
I'm just
No, for
saying.
real. Like, come on.
I'm
nah.
just saying.
hashtag reparations.
Sports.
I'm just saying. There's a state and there's a city or somewhere, and I'll have to come back with the exact place next week. But I'm telling you, they noticed that when the prerequisites were for the police officers to live in that city in which they were protecting and serving in, the crime rate went down. Because people knew, oh wait, that's Officer such and such.
He lived down the
house.
street.
He lived in that house.
His car is parked on the street or in the driveway.
We can't
all
do this.
Can see it.
Oh,
It is a deterrent.
Right, it is, and I don't care what anybody says. It is a deterrent.
But I'm sorry. I lived on a block with 2 police officers, one on my block, and then the one on the next block. He actually lived on the second house on the corner to the left. Them little terrorists did what they wanted to do, and I'm gonna tell you what. He had twin boys. God rest their soul. I think both of them are gone. Both of them are dead now. His kids was the problem. They terrorized the neighborhood, yet and
Nobody
still
said-
break-ins, robberies, shootings, killings, gangbanging. I seen it. In
I get what you're saying.
listen,
Once again,
this is new
I
day
get what
and
you're saying.
new group of young people.
Every police officer is not the same. I had a police officer friend, and I'm not going to say his name, but I'm just going to tell you right now, he could smell weed. He could smell everything else on this other guy that we used to dance with. And I'm telling you right here, right now, he was like, look, I'm off the clock. So you do have some police officers that are like that. I'm telling you what statistics show for that city. And there's a few other cities.
For our city. They did it when Coleman Young was mayor, and it made a difference.
But he was a thug too.
I call
People were
nevertheless.
afraid of him,
afraid.
too.
Hey, fear does get people to act better.
But then that's called a dictatorship.
Fear
So
get shit done.
Well, hey,
I mean, it does, but I mean,
dictate
this
these
ain't
niggas to stay in
Russia.
their house. And everybody here know we're against dictatorships, but I'm saying it did show that when police lived in the neighborhood, it helped. Even for you to just say, I knew the guy, he lived on my block. You knew it. You knew you weren't going to go do anything. It's more people like you in the world than it is breaking into people's houses.
But that's not the truth. Have you been on Roxbury?
But hold on, we're talking about a populace. We're not talking about one block
Yeah.
in a whole city. It's one block.
But we can.
That's one neighborhood. Okay, one neighborhood. That's still not.
Now, I want to say
Equivalent.
at the same time, though, we putting a lot of
Percentages
stuff and saying a
technically
lot
are
of stuff
larger
about
than
the
numbers,
police,
so
but
you
the
have to
police
be
represent
very
the
clear.
city. The police represent the city that they from. So let's just it's the police, but it's also the city that they hailing from, because there's clear differences in police from different cities. I mean response time, the way they handle a situation. If somebody called the police right here in Oak Park right now, they be here before the person hung up. That's how Oak Park get down. Like they actually patrol the neighborhoods. They riding up and down the street. Like ain't no way you driving through Oak Park when you stay in Oak Park and at some point during your day while you going to work or coming back that you don't see them. They
I
everywhere.
hate going to your house.
actually
First of
agree
all,
with
I just
you.
feel like I'm about to get pulled over at any moment, nigga.
She made it sound like, damn, you been reading, haven't you? You done been reading.
In this small slither of a moment. You sounded very intelligent.
For 2 seconds.
I got my little 2-second moments and all, but for real though, I mean, so it's to say that, you know what I'm saying, there has to be something that the city can do as far as for the police, especially if the police is supposed to be representing that city.
Amen.
I get what you're saying.
Amen.
I mean, because we all know somebody gets shot in Detroit, ain't nobody calling the police because they ain't coming.
That is true. I'm going to get my gun. Though
I got shot in Detroit.
You got shot in Detroit.
Yeah, in Brightmore.
That Brightmore is
Brightmore is. Yeah.
that is
I mean, it is
very
it's the jungle if y'all are not familiar.
Yes, it is. I know.
It's the concrete jungle
Church.
for real.
there.
Listen. First of all, the sun don't mess with Brightmore.
Let me say this.
Ain't
Brightmore was the
nothing
first
about
place
Bright-
where
Ain't
churches
nothing
got
bright
It
broken
about
was
into.
Brightmore.
cold everywhere this morning except in Brightmore. The sun was like, nigga, look, I ain't even playing with y'all.
Brightmore is
packs
there's
up
a
and get out of there.
totally different mentality in that area.
No, what about Red Zone though? 7 Mile.
See, we can never stay on script here.
It's okay.
Listen,
I
but we
just
have
want to,
a
I just want to say for the listeners that this is like the second week. It's not, there's no relationship things at all. And I was just about to give it to you.
No, we did do relationships last week.
I mean, we did, but we didn't.
It
We
was
No,
nothing
we
but
were talking about it before the show.
we
What
did.
kind of weed did you
No, we
smoke
did
when
not.
got
This
here?
is
You go
love.
back and listen to the show,
No love.
and you tell me where you heard it at.
All throughout it. She was like, I was so free. Y'all just don't know. She hit me up like, Shantae, shout out to Shantae Nicole. That's my dog. But she hit me up late that night. She was like, you just don't know I was so free, this and that and the other. Blah, blah, blah. Please, it really had me thinking about my
You know, she
relationship.
can come back and
Like,
get
come on.
free.
I mean, she did say some.
me
She
tell
did
you
say
something.
some
But
nice
everything
choice stuff.
she touched on,
did.
it had to do with it had to do with like hot topics, you know.
I mean, okay.
Celebrity
Well, I mean,
gossip.
last week it was a bad example because
Sports
you know we
even,
let
'cause,
her
I mean,
have that, you know, her reign
technically,
on the
I'm
show,
a basketball
and it was
player.
awesome.
I'm with you. I thought
But you
So-
can't say it wasn't no relationships.
I mean, we touched
then
on
you
it. I
can
mean,
hit
last
on
week.
politics.
Let's not talk
Look at
about
this
that though. But I
idiot.
only brought that
Hold
up
on,
because
time
this is
out,
like the
time out.
second
Like-
time consecutively.
Come on, did you go to YouTube and look at the video?
Yeah. I'm gonna say some. Of
I
course
put you on
did.
blast on air then. Look, so this is No Love Lost. Hey, yo, go follow us on Instagram, Twitter. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on
Cashbox.
SoundCloud, Cashbox, iTunes, wherever you can find a podcast at. This is No Love Lost. We signing off.
Amen.